close to home. Saskatoon marks Human Trafficking Awareness Day. And safety in healthcare. Metal detectors get installed at more Saskatchewan hospitals. Plus, customer confusion. Why a Saskatchewan florist is concerned about another company's website.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Chantel is away. I'm Laura Woodward. We begin tonight with a major decision on tariffs. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled President Donald Trump was overstepping his authority by putting some of those trade barriers in place. CTV's Abigail Beeman on what this means for Canadian businesses.
I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed.
The American president says he's deeply disappointed in the U.S. Supreme Court decision striking down so-called IEEPA or fentanyl tariffs. He then, as many predicted, announced new ones.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country.
President Trump has famously said his favorite word is tariff. And so I don't think they're going to simply walk away.
IEEPA tariffs collected an estimated $240 billion. The Supreme Court decision did not address refunds, while one dissenting opinion noted handling them would be a mess.
Unraveling that and securing refunds is going to be messy, but that's certainly going to be a key issue that Canadian businesses are going to be focused on.
While steel and aluminum, automotive and lumber tariffs remain in place. Yet the vast majority of Canadian goods were exempt from IEEPA tariffs anyway due to CUSMA, the free trade deal that's up for review.
With these midterms, with a shifting political climate in the United States, with the inability of Congress to just follow him at a command, all of those things add up to a situation where I think it is more likely that he's actually going to engage on CUSMA than attempt to burn it to the ground.
The lead minister on the Canada-U.S. file said in a statement the court decision reinforces Canada's position that IEEPA tariffs are unjustified, but, quote, critical work lies ahead to fight for businesses still impacted by tariffs on steel, aluminum, and autos. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The province released a statement regarding the ruling, saying, quote, Saskatchewan will continue our efforts to diversify our market exports to countries all over the world and to convince U.S. lawmakers that free and fair trade between Canada and the U.S. benefits businesses and consumers in both countries. A home in a village northwest of Nipawin has become a crime scene as police investigate a murder-suicide. Yesterday, RCMP were called to the village of Love. Two people, a 77-year-old woman and 81-year-old man, were found dead inside a home. Police believe the woman was killed while the man died by suicide. Police say the two people are from the same family, but their names and relationship are not being released by police at this time. All right, Jeff, I describe this weather as running weather because you run to the car, you run to the restaurant. It's too cold to walk.
Well, you don't really stay in place for too long, that's for sure. The one, I suppose, saving grace is the winds haven't been really strong, but with these cold core temperatures, even a little bit of a breeze, even the kind you make by running, also cools things off in a big way. So yes, cold conditions. The good news is things are going to slowly warm up. So we're still dealing with some cold Arctic air pounding down on top of us, but there is some relief coming. When? Well, I'll tell you later on.
Thanks, Jeff. Metal detectors have been installed at 3 more Saskatchewan hospitals to help address security concerns. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says metal detectors have been installed at the main entrances of Battleford's Union Hospital, Victoria Hospital in Prince Albert, and the Regina Urgent Care Centre. The Health Authority says everyone entering hospitals with metal detectors will have to declare any restricted items, which can be secured in a designated locker. Restricted items include duffel bags, luggage, or food coolers, and weapons of any kind, including knives. A flag-raising ceremony took place outside City Hall to mark Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Keenan Sorokon now on the local conversation around a crime that often hides in plain sight.
Dozens of people stood out in the cold to raise a Stop Human Trafficking flag at Civic Square and keep a focus on the crime often targeting young women.
People don't realize that in a small city of Saskatoon that we are affected. The communities outside of us are affected.
Police reports of human trafficking have increased over the last 10 years, with experts saying the crime still goes largely unreported. Data from Public Safety Canada says more than 90% of victims are women and girls. Of those, more than 60% are under the age of 25.
They'll go to the hotels, they'll pick young people or vulnerable people up at bus stops, at motels, restaurants, wherever. We just want people to understand and be aware.
Once the flag was raised, the crowd marched to the Parktown Hotel, where a panel discussion with advocates and members of the Saskatoon Police Service spoke about how trafficking works, who's most vulnerable, and the steps people can take to recognize and prevent it. With 91% of guilty verdicts in human trafficking involving men, staff look for the duration of the stay, who's booking versus who is paying, and if the man is doing all the talking.
With the hotel sector, we really have educated our staff on how to recognize if this is actually happening within any of our properties. They've taken training on this and just prepare themselves for anything. Events are being held throughout the weekend across the country, with Sunday marking National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon is seeing a sharp increase of people speeding through school zones. That's according to an annual traffic report from police. Photo speed enforcement violations in school zones increased by 400% since 2021. Meanwhile, the number of speeding tickets handed out by officers has dropped by more than 50%. 2025 saw a jump of over 10% in traffic collisions, resulting in damage to property, with over 4,500 occurring last year. The report says the most tickets were issued downtown, followed by the North Industrial area. 3 teens have been arrested following an assault on a Saskatoon police officer. Yesterday, police were called to a city facility in the 200 block of Primrose Drive for a missing teen. Police found the missing person within a group. Meanwhile, a different teen from another group began confronting an employee of the facility. Police say the officer tried to de-escalate the situation. The teen began assaulting the officer. One of the teens stole the cop's gun magazine and fled. The stolen magazine was eventually found at a home in the Park Ridge neighborhood on Streb Crescent, where a 16-year-old was arrested. A 15-year-old boy and 14-year-old girl were also arrested and charged. Indigenous experts and leaders are weighing in tonight on the latest travel advice from the federal government. First Nations people crossing land borders into the U.S. are being urged to carry passports in addition to their status cards. Joseph Bernacki explains why.
It's an unprecedented time, and that means that we all have to make decisions around what we can feel comfortable with.
Negon Sinclair says when it comes to crossing the border, First Nations people now need to be cautious. His message? Bring a valid Canadian passport the next time you need to cross the border. Sinclair worries more American border guards are not familiar with First Nation status cards as a form of ID.
It's one of those cases in which they're just not trained properly. And so what you're left with is a lot of incompetency, a lot of ignorance, and it's probably better just to carry ID that they would understand.
Sinclair's remarks follow the federal government's new travel advice urging First Nations peoples to start carrying a passport upon entry to the U.S. As of Thursday, the government's website has been updated with new guidelines. A statement from the website reads in part, acceptance of all status cards is entirely at the discretion of U.S. officials. Sinclair says First Nations across Canada have been warning of travel to the U.S. since last November.
I think an egregious circumstance requires an egregious solution, and we may have to, for a time period, use Canadian identification instead of our tribal identification.
Sinclair says it's vital for Americans to recognize First Nations rights defined under the Jay Treaty of 1794. The treaty permits First Nations people born in Canada with at least 50% blood quantum to freely cross, work, and live in in the U.S. Southern Chiefs Organization Grand Chief Jerry Daniels says more Indigenous governments need to have this conversation with American counterparts.
The Anishinaabe and Dakota, we are nations that really straddle the American-Canadian border. You know, we're Americans in that respect. It's important to put history into context and where we are today.
Daniel says the ways of the past cannot be forgotten moving forward with border relations.
It needs to be recognized that Indigenous nations are, have the right to be on both sides of the border.
Saskatoon firefighters were called to a garage fire last night. This was the scene this morning. The detached garage burned with the frame charred. Crews were dispatched to the 100 block of Campion Crescent just before 7 last night. The fire department says no one was injured, but 2 vehicles were inside the garage during the fire. No information was shared on the extent of the damage to the vehicles. An investigator is working to determine the cause. Saskatchewan's advanced education minister and post-secondary representatives are going on a 1-week trade mission to Asia. The officials from the province, the U of R, U of S, and Sask Polytech is heading to the Philippines and Thailand today to work on the province's education, research, and labor goals. It's meant to create new partnership opportunities for Saskatchewan post-secondary institutions, along with the long-term goal of attracting more talent to the province and making more opportunities for Saskatchewan students to study abroad. Well, it's an important day for farmers in the province as the Agriculture Minister and federal government announced this year's crop insurance program. And as for Zina DeClute reports, there's concern it won't be enough for those devastated by drought.
The governments of Canada and Saskatchewan are announcing continued support for the crop insurance program. Coverage and premiums are individualized to each operation.
Coverage reflects each producer's own production records, while premiums reflect their claim history.
The president of the Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation says the payouts reflect how recent changes have improved the program.
Since in the last 5 years through SCIC, about $8 billion has been paid out. If you think about some of the areas that were challenged in 2025, if we look at those areas, about $1.8 billion has been paid to those areas.
The program has been seeing an increase in insured seeded acres.
If we think back to about 10 years ago, we were probably at 75% of what gets seeded is insured in the province, and as the minister said, we're now at 85%.
For some, however, it's getting pricey.
The insurance is there. It is getting very costly just for some of the regions that have been suffering the last 5 or 6 years.
The southwest corner of the province has been experiencing drought conditions for years.
Now with a lot of the snowfall that has melted and gone, the ground is quite bare out in other regions. I know the southeast Saskatchewan is bare as well, just from all the warm temperatures we had. I know the southwest is completely bare as well too.
Moreau says the program's yield cushioning is designed to help farmers who are experiencing back-to-back challenging years.
After the second year of challenging yields, we will cushion the yield to 70%, and for every year thereafter, the yield will remain 70% of what we previously offered.
The deadline for producers to apply or make changes to their contract is March 31st. Frugina DeClute, CTV News, Melville.
A Prince Albert florist is sounding the alarm tonight over a sponsored ad on Google. Jasmine Pelche now on the issue she says is creating customer confusion.
Stacey Coburn is the co-owner of a Prince Albert flower shop called Sentiments Floral. She says a sponsored ad was brought to her attention in December by customers who had ordered from a different store by mistake.
If this continues, then we're going to have no other choice but to pursue it legally, which I would prefer not to do. It's a simple request. They just simply have to stop using my name.
She says customers who performed a Google search for Sentiments Floral were coming up with a sponsored result with Sentiments Floral in the headline, but the link brought customers to the website for Burkett's Floral, another florist in Prince Albert.
Google has told me that if they had chosen the word sentiments, it would have been the correct spelling of sentiments, because my business name has a unique spelling behind it where we've put a C behind the S for scent.
Coburn provided CTV with a screenshot she says is of the ad in question. Burkett's partnered with a Canadian company called Blumex and is linked as the Prince Albert partner on the Blumex website. Blumex's head of retail provided a statement saying it does not control the exact search terms customers type into Google or the way Google chooses to display ads. The statement goes on to say Burkett's Floral is visible on the ad, and it doesn't see how a customer on the website with Burkett's Floral name and branding plainly displayed could believe they're ordering from a different business. Marketing experts say the best way for consumers to make sure they're on the right website is to look beyond sponsored results.
If you go below the sponsored links, that's where the organic search comes in, and that's where you can really look at potentially who's the most popular out there with other consumers.
Coburn says the ad is not currently running, and she hopes it won't come back and cause any confusion for customers. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
A golden retriever from Moose Jaw has the ribbons and the accolades to prove that he's a good boy. Damian Smith has that story.
Over. This is Tuck, a 6-year-old golden retriever with some of the highest accolades a dog can receive. Trained since he was 6 weeks old, Tuck is a Grandmaster Obedience Trial champion, ranking number 4 in the country.
Down. Sit. When we're healing, he's looking at me and nothing else matters. Nothing else around him. Bombs could go off. You could drop toys. You could do whatever it is you want. And, hey, buddy. Hey. And he'll never take his eye off me.
Overs is one of Tuck's teammates along with his wife, Shelly. Gary has run obedience classes for 44 years, inspired by his first dog for the wrong reasons.
And I was telling the guys that I work with that I got this awful dog. It was running away on me. It was dragging me, jumping the fence, escaping.
While Tuck is skilled in directional jumping and scent discrimination, his golden retriever nature thrives the most in bird hunting.
He loves to be out there doing what he's bred to do. It's in his DNA to get out and retrieve ducks, and that's where he really loves to be.
The Gary Overs Canine Academy trains approximately 700 dogs per year, and the couple recommends training with your dog at least 15 minutes per day.
Obedience is always maintenance. Just because you train a dog to this level, they will get sloppy and start doing little things that they shouldn't be doing.
Your dog needs to be focused on you. Your dog needs to work around distractions without being distracted.
All that hard work for a decorated champion, and his reward is a $10 piece of plastic.
There's his ball. That's his very favorite toy right now, and that can change. But he'd run through a wall for that thing.
And Tuck won't be slowing down anytime soon. The Overs plan to continue competing with him this summer. Damian Smith, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
A major concert announcement for Saskatoon.
She loves when she hears you say it's so mature for your age, baby. She looks like she could be your daughter.
Hilary Duff is bringing her The Lucky Me Tour to SaskTel Centre with special guest Lauren Spencer Smith on Friday, January 29th, 2027. Tickets go on sale Tuesday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. It's almost time to ring those phones. Telemiracle is marking its 50th show in about 1 week, February 28th to March 1st at Prairieland Park. In celebration of its 50th anniversary, the telethon has been extended by 2 hours, giving people more time to donate to the Kinsman Foundation to help people across Saskatchewan access specialized medical equipment and travel assistance. Still to come, Canada's men's hockey team go for gold. A look back at today's win. Also, a political decision getting UFO enthusiasts excited.
Tonight,
they made it sound like mournful event.
Born with a condition but refusing to be defined by it. How Kyle Landy is defying the odds and lifting others along the way.
This man has single-handedly helped save my life.
Tonight on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Well, it was a big day for Team Canada in Milano Cortina as we head into the final weekend of the Olympics. Canada will play for gold in men's hockey, and more athletes found themselves on the podium. CTV's Scott Hurst has your Olympic roundup.
Dreams of Olympic gold are still alive in the men's hockey tournament.
Ultimately, a big win, and now they get to play for the gold medal.
Team Canada beat Finland today to punch their ticket to the final game. The Canadians were trailing 2-0 in the second period when the red and white scored 3 unanswered goals.
This little bit of adversity, this is a good thing for Team Canada. They've learned what it takes when the games tighten up and the skill part is not necessarily available to them right off the bat. How do you grind so you can get to that skill game?
Nova Scotia's Nathan McKinnon with the game winner on the power play with just 35 seconds left in regulation. The final score, 3-2 for Canada. More medals today in speed skating. Valerie Malte was back on the podium for the third time at Milano Cortina in long track. The 35-year-old in her 5th Olympic Winter Games won bronze in the women's 1,500 meter. Canada also landed on the podium in men's free ski halfpipe. Brendan McKay needed a big score on his third and final run, and that's exactly what he got from the judges. A 91 even, enough to put him into third. A bronze medal for the 28-year-old from Calgary in his second Olympics. With just a couple of days left in the Olympics, there are still plenty of opportunities for Canadians to land on the podium, including in both men's and women's curling. The women will play for bronze against the Americans tomorrow, while the men have a shot at gold against Great Britain. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
UFO enthusiasts are over the moon with U.S. President Donald Trump, who has ordered the Pentagon and other government agencies to release files related to flying saucers and alien life. CTV's John Venevali-Rao has that story.
My gosh. American Navy pilots have spotted them. Look at this thing. Strange objects flying in unusual ways. But now the U.S. president vowing to release whatever his government knows about UFOs and aliens. But is Donald Trump a believer?
I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it.
Trump directing America's Department of War and other agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. That includes UFOs, which these days are called unidentified aerial phenomena.
A lot of UFO fans are really excited that this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is Christmas. We're going to be getting all the files.
There's some. It all comes after former U.S. President Barack Obama appeared on a podcast and offered a surprising answer to this question.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
His statement that they're real led to so much buzz online, Obama later clarified, writing, "Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there," adding, "I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us, really." Still, Trump accused Obama of revealing classified information. In 2024, the U.S. Pentagon said there was no evidence alien life had ever been encountered, but added there were sightings that needed further investigation. Still, of Trump's latest directive, some think he's just using it to deflect attention.
Some people had said already that this was going to be a distraction from some other files that he doesn't want to release. So maybe we'll get something, but I'm not holding my breath quite yet.
Meanwhile, Trump did not set any kind of a deadline for the release of information. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
All right, Jeff, when is it going to get warmer?
Wow. That's quite the segue out of an important piece of documentation all about UFOs. Well,
all I can focus about is that I'm cold, okay?
I know. The bottom line is it is going to get warmer midweek next week because we have a push of warm Pacific air. Now, it's not going to last a long time, but it is going to moderate temperatures after a brief warm up to nicely above season values. We'll talk about that later on. Let's take a look at some numbers together. Here we go. Minus 23 degrees right now, so yeah, it's still cold, Laura. Minus 19 in Prince Albert, minus 20 in the Battlefords. And as you can see, not particularly windy, but that doesn't mean that little bit of wind doesn't make things feel nasty, because it does. All right, let's take a look at our almanac. Our daytime high today, well, minus 20 degrees. The overnight low was minus 30, so cold. We do have right now extreme cold warnings in effect for many parts of the province, including Saskatoon and Prince Albert. Minus 7 is typical for this time of year. 6 degrees is the record warm temperature from 1930. Minus 440 from 1918. That's our cold temperature record. The sun came up at 8:12, and it's going to go down, or rather, it went down about 3 minutes ago.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Coming up, some of the biggest and baddest monster trucks roar into Saskatoon this weekend. And 4 whistles, 1 family. We introduce you to a Saskatchewan family of referees.
Wrestling returns to Saskatoon and Yorkton with some star power. Monday on Your Morning, we are talking to Davey Boy Smith Jr., the son of the British Bulldog.
All right, taking a look through the live lens of Skycam. Whoa, we still got plenty of light out there, and my math skills escaped me for a moment there. The sun wasn't going down 3 minutes later. It was going down in 3 minutes, so that's where we go. So now it's officially down by about a minute. So, whew, boy, I'm almost on pins and needles all about that. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our satellite and radar shot here. For those ski enthusiasts, I know a lot of families are coming back from some of the ski resorts in British Columbia and Alberta, but it looks like British Columbia is going to be getting a lot of snow, maybe 1 to 3 feet of snow up around Whistler, and they need that snow, and so do other resorts out in BC. So it's coming. Across the west, though, across the Prairie provinces, I should say, cold Arctic air settling in for another few days, but then we'll start to break out into some warmer temperatures, some Pacific air coming our way, so that's good news. And a bit of a mess out in the Great Lakes region, and big storms coming to Atlantic Canada on Tuesday and Wednesday. There are some alerts out already for the Atlantic region. Minus 23 degrees for Saskatoon right now, minus 19 in Prince Albert, minus 20 in the Battlefords. The hot spot in the province, East End at minus 12 degrees, Key Lake, the cold spot at minus 38. Around the province we go. Minus 19 in Lloydminster, minus 16 in Swift Current, minus 20 in Moose Jaw, minus 20 as well in Estevan, minus 21 in Regina and Yorkton. Into central parts of the province, as you can see, temperatures range from minus 17 in Waskesiu down to minus 23 in a number of communities, making our way up north. Temperatures not that much colder than in central parts of the province. It's 22 on the minus side for Stony Rapids, minus 23 in Buffalo Narrows, minus 18 in Sandy Bay Island Falls. And down south, minus 12 in East End, minus 14 in Maple Creek. And as is typical, when we migrate towards the eastern side of the province, temperatures do drop off. It's minus 23 in Last Mountain Regional Park, the same for Indian Head, minus 20 in Broadview and Carlisle and Weyburn, minus 21 in Melville. Now on to our computer modeling. Well, the computer tells us that we're not going to have much in the way of wind. Those pressure lines are gapping a lot, so we don't expect a big wind, but the cold Arctic air is still there. And so even with a little breeze, it does feel a lot colder. So right now, there are extreme cold warnings in effect. These are of the yellow variety as issued by Environment Canada. And as you can see, Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Regina, they are all affected by this extreme cold warning. That means we will see wind chill values that are around the minus 40 threshold. And the other parts of the province, still cold. Okay, on to our numbers for tomorrow. Minus 17 for La Ronge, minus 26 in Stony Rapids, minus 18 in Buffalo Narrows, minus 21 in Key Lake, minus 17 in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood, minus 13 in Kindersley, minus 14 in Rosetown, minus 11 in Maple Creek, minus 12 in Leader, minus 16 in Outlook, sunny and minus 12 in Speedy Creek. Temperatures in the high minus teens for many parts of southeastern Saskatchewan, minus 13 in Moose Jaw, mainly sunny skies. And in east central Saskatchewan, temperatures of around minus 19 or minus 20 for Melfort, Watrous, and Humboldt, a little warmer at minus 16 in Hudson Bay. The Battleford's dropping down to minus 28 degrees, minus 18 tomorrow, but keep in mind there's still a risk of frostbite as we make our way into the weekend. And Sunday, still cold. Monday, minus 15, minus 11 on Tuesday, but then look at this, look at this, look at this. Temperatures way above seasonal, especially on Thursday. I guess guess -9 is not way above seasonal, but there you go. -31 in the Prince Albert area tonight. Frostbite in minutes to exposed skin. That lingers into tomorrow under mainly sunny skies. Sunday, cloudy conditions and -20. A bit of a snowy start for Monday, and then warming up to -3 by Thursday. And finally for Saskatoon, tonight dropping down to -29 degrees, a slight chance of flurries. Frostbite in minutes, as I mentioned, to exposed skin. That lingers into tomorrow. And don't forget, there's an image of the Ramey Arts Centre tomorrow night, an evening with Kim Coates, a special fundraiser for Persephone Theatre. And the 7-day outlook, as you can see, staying cold over the weekend, but then warming up quite nicely. And look at that, it's a melty Thursday on its way at 0 degrees.
I didn't come to Seattle to be chief. I came to Seattle for you, okay? I came to Seattle to get you back.
Family, friends, and fans and co-stars are mourning the death of screen star Eric Dane. Dane was best known for his breakout role of Dr. Mark Sloan, also known as McSteamy on Grey's Anatomy. Last spring, Dane revealed he had been diagnosed with ALS. The actor's publicist says he spent his final days surrounded by his dear friends, his devoted wife, and his 2 beautiful daughters, end quote. Dane was 53 years old.
You abandoned your kingdom. You abandoned your son.
Cillian Murphy and several other cast members from the original show, Peaky Blinders, are back in Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. It follows his now former crime boss character. He faces off against his son, who's now running the gang, played by Barry Keoghan, Oscar nominated. The movie is set during the Second World War, and it's out on March 20th.
Halt! Who goes there?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I come in peace.
It's been too long, cowboy.
Pixar is out with the official trailer for another long-awaited sequel, Toy Story 5. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are back as Woody and Buzz. This time around, the story focuses on the arrival of a new smart tablet that threatens to monopolize their owner's attention, putting the other toys' futures at risk. Toy Story 5 hits theaters on June 19th.
All right, Jeff, and you were busy there looking at some big trucks.
I certainly was, and not trunks, trucks.
Hopefully not a complicated relationship.
Get ready. The Ram Motorsports Spectacular has returned to Saskatoon, SaskTel Center, and with me, one of the professional drivers, Dallas Glenn Rogers. Welcome back to Saskatoon.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back. This is one of my favorite places every single year. And of course, Spitfire being a crowd favorite here in Saskatoon. A lot of people might not know the very first show for Spitfire was right here in Saskatoon. So this will always be a special venue for us.
Now, you come from Washington State, but you travel all over North America.
All over the world. I mean, we were in Winnipeg just a few weeks ago. Then we're going to Edmonton. We'll be in Nevada after that, all over California, then Arizona. So really, it never stops. Everyone in the world wants a great monster truck show.
They sure do, and they're going to get it here at SaskTel Center. 3 shows coming up. Now, for you, for some people out there, they may not have seen a monster truck show. It's more than monster trucks.
Well, the monster trucks, what makes them different, of course, the big tires for one, but big tires, big horsepower, about 1,500 horsepower, and of course, the obstacles that all the fans love to see. So realistically, there's not much left of a truck anymore.
And the thing is, too, it's monster trucks, it's motocross, it's other things going on, so that's why it's a motorsports spectacular.
There's 3 shows this weekend. Tomorrow, we have a show at 1 o'clock and 7. Then on Sunday, we got 2 o'clock show. And you mentioned how there's more than just monster trucks. We got freestyle motocross, we got mini monsters, the tough trucks. So really, you get to see the entire evolution of monster trucks this weekend.
It's going to be a great time right here at SaskTel Center. Thanks a lot, Dallas, and stay safe.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, it's cold out there, but people are still braving the cold to take out their phone and take a picture. Is that right?
That's right. We've got some great outdoor pictures. This one, we'll take a look at this. Now, okay, this comes to us from Bev Cowie, and you know what? It's a nice sort of, pastoral sort of scene, classic sort of, you got the telephone wires, but I don't know if there's a reflection going on, but Laura, do you see the Death Star sitting up just above the horizon there? It's like in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bev is working on behalf of the Empire here, so it's a warning.
I thought you were going to be critical of her photography.
No, not at all. I just think, hey, thank you for capturing the Death Star. It's a warning for all of us. It's part of those released files. That's what that was.
There you go.
There you go. This one comes to us from Charlotte. Charlotte writes, seeing this otter playing on Sled Lake in the morning, you have to be at the right place at the right time to see wildlife. And finally, from Karen in Rostern, hi, Jeff. I'm not sure my pictures will do it justice, but I was able to dig out a slide for our Ks and pre-Ks at our playground. I first made it using the drifts over the Christmas break, but with all the melty over the last little while, it shrunk. I was super excited to have this latest winter storm. The drifts were fantastic. I dug out the slide, and it's even better than before. The littles use crazy carpets to zip down the slide and have so much fun in the process. Well, good for you, Karen. That's a heck of a project, and I'm sure the kids dig it. So thank you for sharing that image with us. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca or check out the QR code. And please shoot it on the horizontal, not the vertical, if you're using a phone. I'm begging you.
Still to come on CTV News, like father, like sons, the Saskatchewan family making the calls together. To CTV News in Weyburn, a crew of referees share more than just the ice and their love for hockey. They also share the same last name. Donovan Mace has the story.
Doug Walter has been officiating hockey for more than 3 decades.
I do it for the love of the game. I coach, still play rec hockey myself, reffing, and if I'm not here, I'm at home sleeping.
That love for the game he's passed down to his sons, Brody, Keaton, and Preston. The 3 boys now don the stripes just like their dad.
Let's go.
When all 4 step on the ice Saturday night for a local under-15 hockey game, they'll share the ice as a crew.
I was always hoping that things would come about like this, you know, coaching them hockey and then slowly getting involved in reffing, and now I got everybody's involved.
Working with them and trying to help them grow and trying to pass down what I've learned from my dad and all the other officials I've worked with to try and make them better.
It's a rare opportunity for the Walters to work a game together. The oldest, Brody, goes to school in Saskatoon, where he's now a linesperson in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, as he passes down the things he's learned to his younger brothers as they, too, work through the ranks.
Just putting in the best effort you can. Like, even though as refs, we do make mistakes and we are humans, but I think just putting your best foot forward is always the best thing you can do.
They've always taught me to be consistent. Like, sometimes refs can be like on and off a call.
And while still early in their officiating careers, Doug hopes his sons continue to refine their skills and earn the opportunity to work more games together in the future.
They're going to get older, and we're going to do higher and higher levels, and it'll be exciting to go from U15 to U18, and you know, never know, and do a senior hockey game together someday. So
Donovan May, CTV News, Weyburn.
When we come back, how a major grocery chain is adopting AI and the Canadian connection to Italy's women's hockey team.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the rural forecast, and we have got ourselves cold conditions. Maybe not quite as cold as today, but pretty close. As you can see, minus 18 in Lloydminster, minus 13 in Kindersley, a little cooler in Outlook. And as we make our way towards the eastern side of the province, temperatures do drop off. Hudson Bay, minus 16, but it is minus 21 tomorrow for Wynyard and area. Then we'll make our way down south, and as you can see, as often is the case, towards the southwestern part of the province, Maple Creek, minus 11 degrees, but it really cools off by the time we get to Kenora, minus 19 for a daytime high, minus 18 in Broadview and Pilot Butte, minus 16 in Carlisle. Not too bad in Coronach at minus 11, but temperatures will start warming up later next week. Now for Kalonzi, minus 18 degrees with partly cloudy skies, winds out of the northwest at 15. So of course that minus 18 is going to feel like it's more in the minus 20. So that's how things are shaping up for Kalonzi on Saturday. And Kalonzi is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
It was a shock to the hockey world when the Italian women's hockey team made the playoffs at the Olympic Games in Cortina. And behind that success, deep Canadian connections. CTV's Garrett Barry explains.
Soaking up her Olympic moment at the Cauldron in Milan.
You know, walking in the streets, walking in the venues. Everybody's just so proud when you're wearing the colors.
Montreal-born Kayla Tutino has a lot to be proud of.
You know, we're very proud to be Canadian, but we're also proud of our heritage. It's been a big part of my upbringing, so for me to give back in this way and represent my grandparents and my parents, it's really special.
Tutino plays for Italy as a dual Canadian-Italian citizen. She scored the country's second ever goal in women's ice hockey at the Olympics, which helped power the first ever win and first ever playoff qualification.
We wanted to show everyone, you know, what Italian hockey is all about, and we felt like we accomplished that.
To prepare, the team trained for weeks in Montreal, pretty close to home for Tutino and 4 other Canadian-born dual citizens. Among them, Kristen Guerriero, whose mother traveled to support her here in Milan.
I start crying just out of just sheer whatever for her, because yeah, she's always worked hard in every sport and everything she's ever done. So I'm like so proud of her. It's beyond belief.
The Canadian-born players will also compete with the Italian team at a Tier 2 World Championship in April, hoping to build on the new hockey momentum in Italy.
We went to visit her at the Duomo, and there was little children that wanted to take her picture with her. Today we were at the rink after to meet up with her, and some kids asked her to sign their flag. I was like, oh my gosh.
The Olympic ice surfaces will be torn up after the games are done, but politicians here in Milan have promised a new temporary structure starting in October to be followed by a permanent arena within 3 years. Garrett Barry, CTV News, Milan.
Loblaw has partnered with Google for artificial intelligence shopping. The grocer says people will be able to shop for food, beauty products, and apparel directly through AI mode on Google Search and the Gemini app. Loblaw says it sees autonomous shopping where AI assists people in researching, comparing, and buying products as a natural evolution of how customers want to shop. Coming up, this 6-month-old monkey melts hearts. And NASA prepares to send astronauts, including a Canadian, around the moon.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us. We've got another great night of great shows for you right here tonight on CTV.
An Ainsley McGregor mystery. Keep going.
Okay, I'll land the plane here.
Okay.
A 6-month-old monkey is melting hearts after it found comfort in a stuffed orangutan and won thousands of hearts online. Meet Punch, the 6-month-old Japanese monkey. He was abandoned by his mother at birth, but zookeepers stepped in caring for him with a plushy orangutan that became his surrogate mom, and now that's his safe place. Punch's story went viral with many people cheering him on. Now he is slowly joining the troop, but he still clings to his stuffed friend.
Now, I heard he was getting bullied, so I hope that's not the case. Yeah, I'm not making that up.
Where did you hear that from? Your monkey friends, or who told you?
That's right. Yeah, Mickey Dolenz told me that. Mickey Dolenz, a monkey reference.
All right. Well, I hope he's okay, our little friend.
I hope so, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
NASA's March 6th target to send astronauts back around the moon, including a Canadian, is a go for launch. The space agency confirmed the date after a successful wet dress rehearsal, an important test where the rocket is filled with fuel and goes around a practice run of the countdown sequence. Canadian Jeremy Hansen, along with 3 American astronauts, will embark on the 10-day journey designed to clear the way for a future moon landing.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow, really, it's like there was a joke in there somewhere. But, you know, I got some more information from that UFO release document.
Oh, yes, tell me.
And the aliens say, it is Laura's birthday today.
Oh.
That's right, so happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
I've been told we're rolling credits now. So
okay.
I hope you have a lovely birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thanks to everyone who helps keep this show on the rails. Read it out for us, Jeff.
Well, Darcy Clayton, I'm not going to read all the names, just to tell you this is Winter Shines, but Shane Corrigan, Clint Dahlin, J.S. Mills, Jeb Runquist, Corey Tobin, I'll get there, don't worry. Zach Greenhorn, Kelly Singer, Chris Parapelkin, Dale Cooper, Chad Hills, Dan Shingus, Lisa Ford, and J.C. Garden. And Winter Shines wraps up tomorrow, so please get out there and embrace winter.
Yeah, those are some great shots. Oh, look, did you see that shot? That was our cameraman going down.
I believe that was Chad Hills.
He said he risked his life for that shot.
He's a stunt man.
He's a stunt man. Good night.